everyone, it's Nina. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I have a card to share with you featuring the Simon Says Stamp September card kit. It's a birthday surprise card kit and I really love all of the really fun products that are included in this kit. I'm going to walk you through all the stuff that is included in this month's kit. Here is the stamp set. It's No Secret is what it's called. And the images that are included in this kit, like the little balloons and the circles, match up perfectly with the little scratch-off stickers that you get included in this. These are from Inky Antics. You get the 1-inch and also the 1/2-inch stickers. There's a bunch of other different sizes, but these two in particular match up with the images that are included in the set, and they are, like I said, are included in your card kit. So here you can see you can put them over top of the balloons, you can put them over top of the little circle images, you can create some fun bokeh dots or polka dots or whatever kind of little circles that you want to have in your images. You could even also stamp these onto other images. Say you had a flower that had a large center, you could stamp that into the center. That would be fun as well. Now here you're also going to get some stickers. These are puffy stickers from My Mind's Eye. These are from the Hooray collection. I really love all the fun, bright, happy colors that are included in this set and some of the really fun images that are also on them as well. Now another item you're going to get in your kit is this decorative tape. And you can see here it creates these really cute little presents. I'll zoom in here so you can see them. And I just adore how teeny tiny this little tape runner is. It has a little protective closure on it that you just remove when you're going to go ahead and run this across your paper. And then just like any other adhesive runner, you'll go ahead and run this across and you'll see it has these cute little presents that it lays down onto your card. And that little closure protects your tape when you're not using the little tape runner, which is really, really cute. Now, you're also going to get some pattern papers from Doodlebug. This is from their kitty collection. And this is a custom assortment of papers that you're going to get in your kit that are put together exclusively for this particular kit. These papers are also what's included in the kitty collection, just like I mentioned. So there's a bunch of different patterns and bright, happy colors. Really, really fun papers. I really love all the different assortment of types of patterns that you get in this collection. And I really love that there's also some pretty neutral patterns as well. Finally, of course, you're going to get some Simon Says Stamp cardstock. So you have white, cotton candy, lemon chiffon, sea glass, and also black. So some really good staple colors and perfect for using as card bases or accents on your cards. Now I'm going to be using the stamp set and a couple of other elements from the kit on my card today. Here I'm taking a piece of watercolor paper and the large happy birthday sentiment that's from the It's a No Secret stamp set. I'm going to be stamping this in some Simon Says Stamp clear ink because I want to do some heat embossing for the sentiment. And the reason I'm stamping the sentiment first is because I'm going to do all my stamping around the sentiment. Now you'll also notice this card panel is also a little bit taller than normal. This is 6 inches by 4 1/4. For my embossing powder, I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail Gold Embossing Powder. I love this powder for super fine detail sentiments such as this one. I know when I use this powder, I'll get all the details of the sentiment and I won't have anything missing. Now it's time to go ahead and do my stamping. I'm taking some distress ink here because I'm going to be doing some watercoloring over top. So I want something that's going to not only be a light color underneath my watercoloring, but also is going to react with the water and help blend the color that I'm going to be laying on top. I'm using second generations of all my stamping. This is Worn Lipstick and Mustard Seed, the two colors that I'm using for my card. And you'll also see in a little bit that I'm going to end up coloring over top of these with my Zig Clean color markers. Here I'm bringing in those markers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually not color all of these with the yellow and pink colors as you might think. The reason I did the second generation is because I want to hide the color that I'm stamping with, but I need a guide to be able to color in these balloons. So the second generation is going to hide underneath these marker colors. However, I'm not going to color like all the yellow stamped balloons. I'm not going to color all those yellow. I'm actually going to color some gold and some yellow. Then I'm also going to color in the pink balloons, not only in a light pink, but I'm also going to color them in a dark pink. So here you can see I'm bringing in that dark pink right now. And I'm also going to allow the coloring that I'm doing to overlap. And the reason I'm letting the colors overlap is because balloons have a semi-translucent appearance. Depending, of course, upon the balloon, some of them are a little bit more opaque. But I like a translucent balloon because those to me just are a lot more prettier in my opinion. So I'm creating my balloons to have that translucent appearance, and so I'm allowing the colors to overlap to give me that appearance, because if the colors overlap, you'll be seeing a second color in between those overlapping areas. So here I'm bringing in that lighter pink now, and I'm coloring in the balloons. And you'll see as I'm coloring that I'm adding darker shading along the left edge of each balloon. And you're not going to see that in the video that I did it to all of them, but I did do it to all of them just so you know. So as I'm coloring, I'm going back over top of the balloons with the marker that I used to color the base coat. And I'm just adding a slightly darker shade along that very far left. And that's just going to help give my balloons a little bit more definition. Another thing I'm being careful to do is I'm trying not to use too much water because I don't want the coloring to bleed too much outside of the lines that I'm coloring on. Next, it's time to go ahead and bring in some of that gold. For the gold, I'm using the Starry Colors watercolor set from Gonzai Tombi. And I'm using this to go over top of the yellow balloons to have some gold thrown into the mix to match up with the sentiment. And I really love how this gold, pink, and yellow combination looks together. It's really, really beautiful. So I'm going to keep adding that. And then I decided I needed to throw in a few more balloons to this center area. It was kind of looking a little plain. So I'm going to grab another yellow and another pink. And I stamp those down. And then I'll just go ahead and fill those areas in with my markers and also added in a little bit more of that gold. So I'll go ahead and keep coloring until I have all of these images colored in. Adding more shading. I'm going over certain areas again. Just because I might not be happy with some of the shading, I'll go ahead and fix it up. And until I get the desired look I want, I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this until I have everything colored in and done to the way I like. So now it's time to go ahead and add in a little bit of confetti and fun elements around my balloons. These are from the Cuddly Critters accessory stamp set. This stamp set is also from Simon Says Stamp. It came out, I'd say, May I think it was. And I just love how it has these really fun confetti and little dots and so many other cute little tiny images that you can use for birthday scenes or party scenes. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these around the areas around my balloons to help fill this in. I'm also going to color them in with my Zig Cling color markers. I'm using the exact same colors that I used for the balloons. I'm going to add in the pink and the yellow, and I did also add in some of the gold as well. And that just helped match everything up and really fill in this card nicely. Okay, so now that I have that all finished, it's time to go ahead and add some texture and some fun water splatters. I really love doing this on all my cards. It's really, really fun, and I don't think I've ever made a watercolor card where I have not done the splatter technique. That's just something I love doing. So I'll go ahead and apply those splatters down onto my paper. I let them sit for about a minute, I'd say, and then I go ahead and lift it up. And of course I don't time it, but I'd say a minute is about the time limit that I give it. And then I'll go ahead and, like I said, I lift them off of the paper with a rag, and then I'll go ahead and dry that, so that way I make sure that the paper's nice and dry and I can keep working on it. Once I have that dried, I'm going to take my basic stitch line die set from My Favorite Things, and I'm taking the cross stitch die. And I'm going to go around this entire panel with that cross stitch die and create some nice edging along the edges of my panel here. And that's just going to help finish it off quite a bit, and I'm just going to run this through my Bake Shop machine. Next, it's time to go ahead and add in the balloon strings. I'm going to take some fog ink from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm stamping all of these down until I have all the balloon strings stamped for each balloon. And the reason I chose such a light ink is because I did not want the balloon strings to be overpowering to the balloons and distract from the beautiful design that we have going here. But I also didn't want the balloons to be without the strings because I thought it looked a little strange. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all those balloon strings, and I really think it finishes off the card nicely and really makes this look like a bunch of balloons floating up into the sky. Now here I'm going to lay out the elements that's going to finish up my card. I've got 2 pieces of white cardstock cut slightly bigger than my card panels here, which are at 6 inches by 4 1/4. Those other 2 pieces of paper, the yellow cardstock and the pink pattern hearts, those are both the same size as the card panel that we've been watercoloring on, again, which is 6 inches by 4 1/4. Now I'm going to layer these up at a jaunty angle. I'm just going to kind of skew them to the side a little bit. I really think this adds a lot of fun and interest to a card, and I like doing this with my layering. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, but I'm going to skew the yellow piece to the other side of the watercolor panel. And I love how the colors just peek out of the side and don't distract too much. Now I'm also going to take the card base pieces, and there's 2 of them, because if I tried to make a card base with 1 sheet of paper, it would not be the right size, and I wanted it to be a top folding one. So I've scored that at about 1/2 inch down, and I'll go ahead and add adhesive to the top portion of that score line. And once I have that adhesive applied, I'm going to take the other panel, which is cut to the same exact size, and I'm going to line those up so that way I have a card base that's cut perfectly for my card, but yet it's also a top folding one. You could make a side folding card from one sheet of paper, but I prefer the top folding one, so this is why I went ahead and did it through this route. Now I also want to add a little bit of sparkle to match those sparkly gold balloons that we watercolored from the Starry Colors watercolor set. So I'm taking my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen and I'm carefully applying that beautiful shimmer over top of each balloon. And I'm wiping off the tip of the brush between each color because I don't want to contaminate the balloons with the colors that I've already applied the sparkle over top of. So this is why I go ahead and wipe it off on the side, which is on a piece of scrap paper, and that just helps clean off the brush tip as I go between each color. Finally, I'm going to add some little embellishing with the Nouveau Crystal Drops, which are also included in your card kit. This is the Silver Moon Dust color. I just love how beautiful this is. I thought the silver would be a nice addition to this pattern. Because it's in such small amounts, I think it really complements the overall card design really nicely. And I'm also going to add some white Nouveau Drops. This is the white gloss color. This is not included in the Simon Says Stamp card kit. You're going to get the teal color, which is Caribbean Dreams, I believe. But the white matched my card much better than the teal color, so this is why I went ahead and used the white instead. So that's going to complete my card. I hope you've enjoyed and got some inspiration on using the new Simon Says Stamp September card kit in creating some really fun, fantastic birthday cards. This would be really fun to add that extra interactive element to the design by stamping a sentiment onto one of the balloons that you've watercolored and applying the little silver scratch-off stickers on top. I didn't do that for this particular card, but I think it would be a fun way to add some interactive elements to the card design. So if you enjoyed this video, here's another one you might like featuring Simon Says Stamp exclusive products. If you enjoyed, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can connect with me on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, as well as my blog. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you again soon.